I've recorded this several times, realizing we've got a couple problems. Number one is you don't have the shortcuts I'm going to ask you to use, so we're going to have to make them. And number two is you're sharing a computer with other individuals, and I'm not quite sure how this is going to work, so we're going to name our shortcuts a special way. Okay? So what we're going to do, just to preview, I'm going to get a new layer, put everything on it, convert it to a smart object, and then find edges and change the blend mode to divide in order to get these white lines on a smart object where we can come back and edit things still. Wow, cool, except you don't have those two shortcuts, so we have to make them right now. So let's come up so we can do it together, and it's under Edit. I should have looked at all this. Keyboard shortcuts, and you have Photoshop defaults. So I'm going to change mine to Photoshop defaults and click OK. And then I'm going to use a keyboard shortcut to pull up the shortcuts. And we want to create a smart object. And that's under Layer. You open that up. And then Smart Object is somewhere. And we scroll and scroll. And Smart Objects right there. Convert to Smart Object. And when we click on that, we can come out here. And see how it says Photoshop defaults? As soon as we do this, Shift, Option, Command, O. As soon as we do this, it changes from, if I accept this, it's going to say Photoshop defaults modified. Well, let's save this as, save a new set, and name it something like, I'm going to say P0 because I'm not in period 2, 3, 4. Well, you know what I mean. And then you can name it what you want. And so now yours is going to be named P2 if you're in second period, or P5 if you're in fifth. You figure it out. And a little name. I sure hope you can save to this folder, because this folder is inside the Photoshop folder, and I don't know if this is going to work. So let's just see, because in prior years this worked just fine. So now I have Convert to Smart Object. The second thing I want is going to be, let me come up to the top. I'm going to close that. We want Find Edges. We're going to come down to Filter, and it's going to be way down. Pull this thing. It's going to be down in, where's it at? Stylize. Stylize, Find Edges. And here, we got to do something different. It's not going to be Shift, Option, Command, E. It's going to be Control, Option, Command, E. Control, Option, Command, E for Find Edges. Because all our little secondary shortcuts are going to be like this for reasons that we could get into. So we can just say Accept. We have SCO modified, and we're going to save that right here. Not save as. We're not going to make another one. We're just going to save it. So now we have our two new shortcuts. And if this doesn't work for you, we'll figure it out in period 2, but I think we're going to be good. Shift, Option, Command, N makes a new layer. Shift, Option, Command, E merges everything on that layer. Shift, Option, Command, O, not 0, turns that into a smart object. See that right there? Smart object. And then Control, Option, Command, E for Find Edges. We come up, and these different blend modes are going to give you lots of different looks, and sometimes I use these other looks. I wanted white lines, and white lines are divide. And that's how that layer is made. And then we rename this, right? Find Edges and Blend. Okay, so cool. Our first custom keyboard shortcuts. Write these down, because we are going to use these over and over and over and over again. And it may seem hard to keep track of, but if you practice, if you do this again and again, you'll learn. And Convert to Smart Object. How much easier is it, instead of coming here and right-clicking and saying, oh, Convert to Smart Object, just, boom, and you got it. Man, Z, I don't want that to be a smart object.